All right, welcome to the VERAfied Podcast. We have Chief Franklin Arriola and the MMA legend, Brandon the Truth Vera.
What's up, everybody? Good to see you again. Having a great time.
You know what? Our friend B is traveling. Who knows where he is? The fact that we get him virtually, we love that. B, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good, Kuya JM. I'm good, Chief. Still here in New York. Still doing trial prep, but it's cold, man. Like I can't even put a shirt on anymore. I walk around this. I only took my coat off because we're doing this now. Like it's cold in New York.
Dang.
Whole different kind of cold. No, thank you.
No, thank you, he says. Get me back to the island life. I hear you.
It's funny, Chief. You know, that's your backyard, right?
It used to be. Yeah, it used to be.
New York. And at first, I was telling B, I was jealous, right? You're in New York City. Oh, my God. But then I walk out. It's nice, 84 degrees in Guam. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe B might be a bit jealous. You know, he wants to come back home. So
when you're younger, your body can handle that sort of, weather disparity, right? But as you get older, if you're not born and raised in that kind of an environment, that cold bites right through your skin.
No, I would say mature. That is our wonderful director, Bojo Molina.
Mature.
As a matter of fact, it brings us to our wonderful brand partners that we have to recognize. Guam Army National Guard, thank you so much supporting us since the very beginning. To the production geniuses, Three Blind Mice. Again, led by our director, Bojo. The wonderful Grapplers Quest. Ooh, almost there.
GQ.
Truth Apparel, Franklin.
GQ.
Yes.
Truth Apparel, let's go.
Guam Windward Memorial.
Yeah. And so, guys, as we enter the new year, 2024, right? I want, you look back at 2023, you think about all the things that went a certain way, whatever. 2023 there were some challenges, no question. But we're obviously, at the end of the day, for me, you certainly are thankful for all the good things that have come to us. I think, I can speak for the three of us that we've all had really blessed lives. We've been fulfilled with a lot of wonderful things and wonderful people around us.
Absolutely, Chief.
And I wanted to thank, certainly our family members, our partners, right? Guam Army National Guard again, the Three Blind Mice guys. They've done a great job for us putting this together. And we're bringing in more sponsors, right? People are, hey, Chief, can we sponsor the podcast? I'm like, sure, dude. Yeah. Come on over. Let's have some fun with this thing. And certainly in a couple of weeks, we have Grapplers Quest, which is really going to be a big deal for us, right? So I just want to put a word plug in for the gratitude that all of us share for all our partners and people who have helped us get to this far. Chief, and 2024 is going to be a big year.
Chief, you're absolutely right. And B, I'm sure you remember, before we get into our first segment, Truth Be Told, this was a conversation in late, I think it was November of 2022.
2022, yeah.
We were either planning or we were already out there in Manila to watch you.
December.
In December, right? For one championship, right? And we were talking about the podcast, and here we are. And as Chief Frank mentioned, we're extremely blessed, right?
It freaking tickles me that we're in a freaking podcast, right?
Absolutely. And people are tuning in. And people, as you said, we've got, I think in a week or so, we're going to be unveiling 2 more brand partners. And so that's just amazing that people are listening, people are watching. The viewership, the audience is growing, and we got people that are supporting our podcast.
Yeah, I like that. And we just kind of talked about this a little bit briefly a couple hours ago, Brand. One of the new segments coming up for this year, and we've always thought about it, we're just kind of getting our feet wet, right? In terms of, the production side, right? Then you have the content side. But we are going to be, sponsorships, of course, come into play. But then also having guests on the show with us. That's going to be something we're going to introduce real soon. And if I'm not mistaken, Brandon, you want to go and maybe announce the first guy that we've been thinking about putting on the show?
So,
the lead guy for Grapplers Quest? Yeah.
Thank you all our sponsors. Thank you to all our viewers. And the first person that we're going to be bringing on as a guest is somebody that's near and dear to me, Mr. Brian Simmons, the president, originator of Grapplers Quest. And we've been pushing this for a while, trying to get schedules right. Brian said yes, so we're going to make this happen. But also on the note of Grapplers Quest, it's starting to get out to the entire jiu-jitsu community, even here in the mainland, even the old school heads, the people who made and broke their bones in Grapplers Quest to get to where they are now. They're starting to call me now and ask about it. So I know Brian's getting busy with people asking, what's going on with Grapplers Quest? She's back now? It's happening? So, yeah, the hype train is not a hype train. It's just a train moving through the world at its own pace, and it's coming. So Brian Simmons will be on next episode, and he'll be able to break it down even more for you guys of our journey, how we got here, the whole story behind Grapplers Quest, and why I'm such a fan of GQ. So thanks, guys, and I'm looking forward to having that happen. This is such a cool thing. Technology.
Oh my God, Brandon and Brian together, the Killer Bees. Ooh, looking forward to that. Also, looking forward to Skyping in your father, but that's going to be fun. That's going to be a whole podcast episode on its own.
Oh,
all right,
man.
Speaking of which, VERAfied Podcast, you're always going to get the truth. Perfect segment. Perfect segue to the segment called Truth Be Told, which is presented by the Guam Army National Guard. Chief? All right. The Compact of Free Association Agreement with the FSM, the Marshall Islands, and Palau expired on September 30th, 2023, along with our annual reimbursements. There have been major iniquities in federal funding for host territories like Guam. Our Congressman James Moylan has been working diligently to reinstate as well as increase reimbursements, which go to offset the cost of hosting COFA citizens. What more do you think can be done to bridge the disparity of funding for Guam and other host territories and states, and for Washington to get a greater understanding of the real impact of the compact on our island? I know that's a mouthful, but basically the cost of COFA, Frank.
Yeah. If I could, just a quick backdrop, right? So we're in the Pacific Ocean region area, right? As we know, Guam, the Mariana Islands, of course, Hawaii's out there, and some other territories that are friendly to or allied with the United States of America. There's also independent nations, the Federated States of Micronesia, Palau, etc. We're all in this region, right? And this region is right between the United States of America geopolitically, as well as China, one of our adversaries. That's why the strength, the alliance, and the relationship between all these islands with the United States is critical. So if you're an American and you don't, what the hell are we doing out there? Well, this is what we're doing, because China has been making major headway into this region through all the various islands. I'll give you an example. The Pacific Games, which is like the younger child of the Olympic Games in our region, was held in the Solomon Islands about a month ago. And my son had the honor of representing Guam in the tennis team. They won gold down in the Solomon Islands.
Congratulations!
Shout out to tennis, the Guam tennis. Yeah, thank you. We're very proud of the team. They weren't even rated, but they won the men's team gold medal. So very good for Guam. While they were down there, he was taking pictures, and we got some video and stuff, and the facilities were really nice. It's like, at first I thought it's like, it's gonna be like, something like the Guam stuff, right? I shouldn't even say that's kind of horrible for me to say, but it's true. But they were nice courts, it was just nice, new, refurbished, all of it, right? And of course, Mace comes home, yeah, Dad, that was China who paid for that. I'm like, okay. So China paid for that, right? And so that's part of their Belt and Road Initiative, right? Where they have very good foreign relations with these countries. We know what the story is, sure, right? We know how they, and we know what they're doing. I mean, I told a story of an episode a few episodes back. Went to Ponape. Ponape had the Shen Shu Yang, whatever it was, name of the gymnasium, where official events were held, and it was paid for by the Communist Party of China. So we know their game plan. We know what they do. Again, to the question, that's why it's so important for the United States of America to make sure that their relationships with these islands here are fortified, right? The United States negotiated the Compact of Free Association with the Federated States of Micronesia and those islands. As a result, they're able to come in and out of Guam freely associated, right? But there are some costs to our community. They wrote, kind of like what New York City is going through with illegal aliens in their city, right? Kind of like definitely what Texas is going through with those illegal aliens. The federal government is allowing these people to come in, but you can't just bring these people in. How are you going to house them? How are you going to feed them? You can't, there's always a cost. And so it's likewise on Guam, there's a cost. And one of our local senators, Senator Frank Bloss Jr., he's been the guy who's kind of led the charge of keeping track of how much it's costing us, and he's done a good job with it. And so we've been able to quantify the cost to our community, and that it's important that the United States federal government, among other things, works closely with us to make sure that we get our fair share to cover that cost. And it's something that we didn't ask for. We'll welcome them, as all Americans should, but there's a cost to it, man, and it's real. It's real. Education. There's a strain on our education and our facilities there.
Healthcare, yeah.
Our hospitals, our public health clinics, et cetera. I mean, there's so much. Our roads, all of it. Crime, public safety. It all impacts
Drugs.
us, and so I think it's important as one of the things to make sure that we, the Guam community, not that we're beggars or anything, but it's due to us, right? And so that's something that we should put on people's radar immediately, because it's been impacting us for decades now. Sorry, B.
Chief makes some really great points there. Yeah, and I think in discussing with some of the people in my circles, the question comes out often: can we afford to continue to host COFA migrants? And I think with Chief's points, it's really comes down to, with adversaries knocking on their door, can we afford not to continue the host? So, B, did you want to add anything to that?
No, you guys covered all the points. We need to let the mainland know, and just reiterate, I guess, Guam is literally 3.5 to 4 hours away from anything in the Indo-Pacific area. All the islands beside us are the same thing, literally 3 to 4 hours away from everything. If the United States didn't make that deal with the outlying islands, China would be there already right now. The reason, and the United States made the deal for them to be able to use Guam. While we're being used, we need to be reimbursed by the United States. It's just all part of the agreement, and we need help. I don't know how to explain it better than that without getting into a super long conversation about the importance of the islands and the region to the mainland itself. And the only way that you could show that, I guess, is to bring people out and show them with their own eyes, I guess.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add that.
Ben.
Sorry, guys.
No, that's perfect. And one of the ways we do that is we have a non-voting delegate to the United States Congress. And because of the Republican majority, and James Moylan, our representative, is a Republican, he has been able, as part of the majority, been able to bring congressional delegations, otherwise known as CODELs. He's brought so many CODELs out to Guam, more than he's very active in it. What's my point? A lot of congresspersons are able to come out to Guam, and if not them, then their staffers or affiliates come to Guam and see what's going on out here. They see the Marine Corps relocation. They see how many bases we have on Guam. They see how many active duty military personnel are on Guam. but they also see kind of as an ancillary issue the impact of the Compact of Free Association, right? You can feel it. Now, granted, a lot of these migrants help us in a lot of areas, right? In a lot of the jobs, the frontline jobs, customer service type jobs, back end jobs. They're helping, and they're rising through the ranks now, and getting to the supervisory management, which is exactly what you want, right? But there are still other things that the wear and tear, and the best place to look at it really, there's two in our public school education system and our hospital. Our hospital's getting killed by this, right? And our hospital, it's a community hospital, so we cannot reject anybody. We have to accept every person who comes for service or treatment, and it's been a major strain on our. If you look at our hospital, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's, God bless those people over there who bust their butts, saving lives literally and figuratively. They need more help, and they need some relief because it's killing them. It really is. We just need, we need more people of power, of authority, people who authorize and appropriate and authorize funding for the insular territories, which goes to the Department of Interior in America. If you're not, DOI has oversight of the territories. They're the guys, in addition to the DOD, who fund these sorts of projects.
Okay. Oh. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, B. Yeah, COFA just proved that it's just going to probably be more complicated as we go on, but good points, gentlemen. All right. Our next feature. Finish this sentence. All right? I don't know which one of you guys want to start. This one, you know what? Let's go with a softball because we got an event coming up. It's going to be huge. We already know, but I'm going to lead you a little bit. Maybe, B, this would be perfect for you. Finish this sentence. By the way, this is brought to you and brought to all of us by the Guam Army National Guard and the Three Blind Mice.
Thank you for your service, all of you.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Much appreciated.
Absolutely. Okay, you ready? Finish this sentence, B. The first Grapplers Quest Guam event will lead to
5 more events to find us a champion who will be prepared to stay the champion for the next 6 events. So I'm not counting them as seasons. I'm counting them as events because we don't know how long it's going to take for us to finish 6. Long answer, but we're looking for that one champ to dominate Grapplers Quest in both of our pro divisions. 80 kilos and above, 80 kilos and below.
Ooh, yeah. If
Chief,
that's
something tells me that B is kind of excited about Grapplers Quest. He sees the success, right? This is going to be going on for forever. I know we're never supposed to say first annual, but apparently, well, we're going to be an annual event. We're going to be, maybe multi events per year, B?
So, multi events per year.
3
you guys
Grapplers
you
Quest
already know.
events.
So we're going to be in Hawaii, Korea, Japan, Philippines, Virginia. I'm pretty sure I missed some places, but we're already almost about to start talking to people in Hawaii about Grapplers Quest going there. So that looks like it might be next before the Philippines. So we're already on the move, guys. We're already on the way.
Very nice. And that's one of the beauties about having a guy like Brandon, right? He moves like all over the place, and he's such a well-known individual in that, especially in that circle, right? So he's already leading up. So when he comes to go, okay, guys, here's what I came up with, right? We're like, oh, okay, which is it's a wonderful thing to have, right? And going back to Grapplers Quest, right? He's a product of that, right? I mean, he went through it from the ground up. The OG of the OGs, right? The more I talk to people who are in that grappling universe, the excitement is pretty high for this our first event here on Guam. Now, obviously, Guam's a very small market, but whatever we put out, it's going to be run very, very well. I mean, we've got $20,000 in prize money. We've seen the medals already, really nice medals. The UOG, the University of Guam Fieldhouse people have been very helpful. A lot of sponsors are coming on board. They want to help, set up, take down. They want to do the drink concessions, the security. We got Matt Scroll over at guamtime.net doing the registration for the attendees. We have our boy Duke, who put together the Smooth Quant registration for the players. I mean, it's a lot of stuff going on, but it's exciting. And, I love putting on events. It's a lot of work. Oh, my gosh. And that's why our sponsors are so important to this, right? Because without them, we wouldn't be able to do this, right? And so Guam Army National Guard is our title sponsor for Grapplers Quest. And so always a shout out to them. I mean, this rolls right along their mission. So we fit into it really nicely. Yep. With Grapplers Quest and a bunch of other things. Truth Apparel, I should say. I should shout out our own line of apparel. We'll be out there doing our thing.
Shout out to the Truth.
It's gonna be good times. And Brandon, every time there's the one thing he gets really, really excited about. I find is that when he talks about Grapplers Quest, kind of almost like the little boy in him just comes out, right? It's like, yeah, I want to do this again, right?
You got that grin from ear to ear, my brother.
I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Man, I met my first UFC fighter at Grapplers Quest. I competed against the UFC fighter at Grapplers Quest. There were two little brothers from Grapplers Quest. Gordon Ryan's from Grapplers Quest. Ryan Hall's from Grapplers Quest. Man, there's so many people that came from Grapplers Quest with, I don't know, it's just home base. It feels like home base, and it makes me smile every time I talk about it, just like you guys are saying. I remember all those guys. I remember competing and watching them compete.
Well, I tell you what,
Good, that's
Frank,
great.
If you can indulge me, I'm going to finish the sentence. The first Grapplers Quest Guam event will lead to great success for everybody who's joining up in the tournament.
You bet. Yeah.
Love it. Okay.
And you can go to www.brandonvera.com to sign up as a participant. And we encourage you. You get a major discount if you compete in more divisions than one. Like I said, there's some serious money in this thing, right? Pro division, $20,000. Like what? Dang, that's bruh. That's some good cash, man. I know Brandon says he's in the States. I know he's talking to his boys out there. You got to come out to Guam, man. You got to come out to Guam, right?
Yeah.
And so we'll see how it comes out.
Just around the corner.
Yep.
You are watching and listening to VERAfied Podcast with the MMA legend and movie star Brandon the Truth Vera, and we got the Chief Franklin Arriola.
Yo.
I'm your host, John Mafnas. We're going to take a real quick break, recognize all our brand partners. See you in a little bit. All right, guys, it is time for Verified Mail. This is where we get our watchers and listeners, our audience, to send in either email, text, WhatsApp. And so this one, Chief, as you know, we always get it, these letters or these text messages or email, and it's addressed 99% of the time to the legend.
Of course.
Brandon Vera.
Of course. As it should be.
Not this one.
Oh.
Yeah.
First one is for Chief
Chief.
Arriola.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it comes in from an old friend from the Brotherhood.
Oh.
I don't know if that was when you were in the seminary or
before I was kicked out.
You were-
Seminary.
we joke, but
I couldn't even make it to the front door, dog.
there you go. I know. There you go. So I'm assuming they're talking about either Father Duenas or
Yeah.
Colgate, could be USC, but
Phi Delta Theta.
there you go. Here we go. It says, Frank, I know that you are on the business end, the behind the scenes end of Grapplers Quest, but could we possibly see you getting into the sport of grappling or BJJ? An old friend from the Brotherhood. Good question, actually.
You know what? I tell you, my kids will tell you. I always encourage my kids to get into some sport. You know, make it part of your lifestyle so you can stay in shape, right? I mean, give yourself a fighting chance. Don't leave a sedentary life. Jits can definitely do it. I remember going to maybe like 15 years ago because I thought about it. It was Purebred, the old corn building, and I went to a lunchtime roll, and I wanted to see. I mean, you know, God, what is these guys are talking about? It's jiu-jitsu stuff. So I went to watch for myself, and I saw it. I just watched these guys. I was there for like the last 10 minutes, and the last 5 minutes of it, it was a boom, go, full speed, 100%, roll until I blow the whistle, whatever, right? And I remember when they were done, they all just kind of laid on the ground like they were spent. I said, "Wow, that looks like a great workout." Ultimately, I decided not to do that for a number of reasons, and I you know, it's horrible. But when I played football, I played a lot of football when I was growing up as a kid. I busted a lot of stuff, separated shoulder, torn rotator cuff. I mean, you just can see my. You can see my fingers. You see that? All of it. And so I just know that if I were ever to grapple, I mean, I have no problem giving it a shot. But as soon as you take my shoulder and you just bring it back like this, I'm done. Because you'll just, the pain would, my body couldn't handle it, you know. Now, I still box. I still do some Muay Thai stuff. I love that. I love that kind of, you know, the pugilistic, the warrior, whatever you call it. It's fun. It's a great workout, and it's good for self-defense. So I always tell my kids, and Mason, he's going to go to med school. I said, Mace, listen, man, he's a tennis player. I said, Mace, you know, when you're done, or you go to med school, try to get, you know, some jiu-jitsu in there. You know, it's a lifelong skill. Garrison, he's a rugby player at St. Mary's. Shout out to the Gales. Ranked number 5 in the country. I have to throw that out there. Son made it as a walk-on. Sorry, no.
Garrison, shameless plug from your father.
I'm a little too much.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Vivi, I'm sorry.
It's all good, bro.
No, but so I said, when you're done with the rugby, you know, bashing your head and getting a concussion, dude, roll with jiu-jitsu. I mean, you'll be good at it too. Frankie's doing it. Alyssa's doing it. I think Alyssa's taking a break, but they're all into it. So for me, I don't know if you'll ever see me out there. I wouldn't mind if like someone like Brandon, if he did like a seminar or whatever. I'll go definitely.
B, I think we could say this for reals, huh?
Okay.
Chief is such a tough guy. he can do this. He can jump right into it, right? But no pressure, no pressure. Okay. From verified mail, we have one for you, Sir Brandon, is the way this is addressed. Sir Brandon, I am from PI, and I am visiting some relatives in Guam. I watched your podcast on YouTube, and now I'm hooked. I find it funny, insightful, and very honest. What are the chances you can do a podcast that is recorded primarily for Filipinos in Tagalog? And this is signed Fan of Bran from the homeland. Ooh, we have a poet.
Yay, a poet, and she knows it. No.
So,
What say you, B?
let me say, let me do this in Tagalog real quick for the fan of Bran.
Please, fire away. Love it. Go for it.
Kababayan, gusto ko talaga maggawa din ng podcast sa Pilipinas. Pag kaya, and my time, susubukin din natin. I would have to not replicate, but almost have the same vibe with a new group of people dun sa Pilipinas, like I do here with Chief and Kuya JM, with the 3 Blind Mice. So yun lang talaga mahirap sa podcast. Finding people that you're comfortable with, that you don't mind being yourself with, and you don't mind hanging out with. So A lot of those are already checked off in the Philippines. The only thing I need is time. So as soon as we get some time, mangyayari din yan. And I want to send this into the universe. Kuya James Deacon, if we're doing a podcast in the Philippines, you have to be in it, on it, part of it, please, Paul.
Fantastic.
I appreciate that, B, and I'm sure a fan of Brand from the homeland appreciates it as well. All right. I love this segment coming up, gentlemen. Truth or bullshit? All right. Tell me, I'm going to give you a statement, and you tell me if it's truth or if it's BS. And again, Truth or BS presented by the Guam Army National Guard and Truth Apparel. Go to shop.brandonvera.com.
That's the one.
For the latest apparel. All right, here we go. Statement number 1. The USA will eventually get to the bottom of COVID origins and hold China accountable. Truth or BS?
Well, I don't know, Brandon. I'll arm wrestle you for this one, bruh.
I just have one word, so I only got one word. Bullshit.
Boo.
Not just bullshit, people, but bullshit. That's what B gave you. All right.
Oh,
so you think the statement, the USA will eventually get to the bottom of COVID origins and hold China accountable, is bullshit? Why, B?
I don't have faith in our DOJ. I don't have faith in our commander in clowning. I don't have faith in this administration. And I don't think it's going to happen this time round. Depending on who gets into office this year, 2024, maybe. But then again, that depends on who gets into office 2024. So good luck to all of us.
Yep.
Okay, so Brandon's calling BS on that one, Chief.
Ditto. That's bullshit.
Okay.
Particularly today, right? Bought and paid for, bro. I mean, seriously. What'd you call him? China Joe? I don't...
China Joe.
All the evidence is there. Bought and paid for, policy, reflective in the policy, right? It's what's interesting is you have Donald Trump's time, even like around 2020, 2021, up until 2022. You heard about COVID. You heard about lockdowns. You heard about, the virus. You heard about vaccines. You heard about all that crap. And that was hell. Guam, which is a tourist destination. God, I can't. Okay, you guys, Bob, you beep this when I say this. Guam is when it comes to its tourism business. Why? Because the Japanese don't want to travel. The Koreans are just trying to get into it. I mean, we're screwed. Totally, right? America, kids were on lockdown, right? They're socially, they were starting to get messed up. It just made it worse, right? Commerce, right? Restaurants shut down. I mean, these are legitimate business people who are shut down because of this thing. And when you think about the origins of this thing when it was first started talking about, it was all in the Wuhan camp, right? And we know that. But nothing has been talked about since Joe Biden took office. Nothing. It's just been, let it go away. And that's why Brandon's point is correct. If Donald Trump or any Republican wins, I think there'll be more, they'll go after China in terms of what happened. Just let the truth come to the top and we can determine what's going on. Right now with the Democrats, it's suppressed. And that's sad. That's a sad statement of our country, unfortunately. Because if it was up to me, we're going to find out, get Fauci, grill his ass, subpoena and depose his ass hard. Get to the truth, get to the bottom of it, and then we can make that determination of how we're going to get our money back from China because they screwed the world over.
So I'm looking at our production guys right now. I think that from both B and Frank, that is an emphatic bullshit. Okay. Statement number 2, you mentioned Japan. Segways are for kids. Here we go. Mass killings in the United States would end if America just followed a gun policy like Japan Truth or BS?
You're looking at me. Okay, I'll go first. Well, I don't know the full details of the Japanese law when it comes to handguns. And I think I've said this in a prior episode that, we have a mental health problem in America. We got some crazy mother truckers, Brandon, to borrow your term.
Yes, sir.
In our country. Serious mental problems. I mean, when you murder someone, man, you're off your rocker. You're screwed up totally, right? We need to address those. Get to the root causes. To borrow a Democrat phrase, the root cause. I think that's use the phrase root cause. That's code for I don't think I will ever get to that point, right? But mass killings are going to happen no matter what. I mean, you could take like chlorine and dump it in a water source. It won't be as crazy as a bombing or as an automatic weapon, but the damage will be done, right? So I falling like I don't, America's America. Plus, if you're anyway, there's some other longer term things that defendants and supporters of the Second Amendment, like I am, reason why we think that guns should be held in responsible hands. And I think 99% of gun owners are responsible gun owners. Period.
Okay. We're going to call this from Frank. We're going to call this one bullshit. Huh? Okay. B, we're going to move on to statement number 3. Perfect for you as a veteran of the United States Air Force. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
Statement number 3, truth or BS? National military service should be compulsory for every American, just like it is in Israel.
So,
BS.
I have 2 answers for this. One is truth, because the way that America is right now, we literally have idiots not raising children and children staying children until they're 53 years old. So I've seen...
Happy birthday, Hunter.
I've seen compulsory. I've seen the 2-year service. I understand it and I appreciate it. It would teach everyone responsibility. Everyone would know how to clean a weapon. Everybody would know how to stand guard, not fall asleep. Everybody would understand the UCMJ, and if you did anything against it, then there would be no, but I had a bad childhood. No, you go to the brig. Oh no, you go to I can't remember the name of the big jail for all the military people. Man, it's black and white. You do or you don't. So that's my first answer. Truth. I wish that it was compulsory. 2 years. The other side, being American, you don't tell me what to do. You don't tell us what to do. So that's the hard part, man. Like it's a double-edged sword being an American. I wish the best for the country, and I wish that service was required. But as an American, it's hard to make us do something, to tell us to go do something. So I'm in the middle. I don't know, guys. I'm 50-50 on this.
On Gary and Robert, because they're going to have to make a hybrid of truth and bullshit or graphic. But it's all good. And you know what?
Sorry.
You make very good points. So I completely get it. I get it. Yeah. By the way, you are watching and listening to the VERAfied Podcast. You've got MMA legend and movie star Brandon Vera. You've got the chief, Frank Arriola. And for some reason, they let me drive the bus. I appreciate that. I'm John Mafnas. We're going to go right into our, at least my favorite segment. Scares the crap out of the 2 guys. It's the VERAfied Top 5. And this is brought to you by the Guam Army National Guard and Grapplers Quest GQ. Brian Simmons. All right. Verified top 5. Frank B. Top 5 resolutions for the new year. Ooh. Ooh. I know we started the new year already, but what are the resolutions
Chief,
that
you can go first
you
if
have,
you want,
and
Chief.
maybe even some you've already broken?
Look at my face.
Chief is saying, can you just ask me my favorite movie again, please?
Yeah, let's do the fun stuff. It's like resolutions. Like, I'm an older man, and I don't think I've ever had a resolution. In the formal sense, like, okay, it's the year 2018, and I'm gonna be, a better man. I'm gonna lose 10 pounds. I'm gonna do this and that. I just want to live a halfway decent life and enjoy myself. And putting quantitative markers, I think that's stressful in and of itself. And I've seen enough people, I'm gonna quit smoking cigarettes, guaranteed, done. Bro, if you did the research into what it takes to quit smoking a cigarette, I think like 0.0095% can do it in one day and make it a lifestyle. It's so difficult. So why put that stress on you, right? So in terms of resolutions, I just have daily resolutions, bro. Just, trying to be a good human being, trying to be a good dad, a great husband, et cetera, et cetera. Pay the bills, the practical stuff, right? Get my kids through college, continue great relationships with my guys here and throughout.
I feel that.
The daily, right? The daily. If you do it daily, I don't think you need to have like a real resolution per se in that kind of situation. Brandon might be totally different than me in this regard. I don't know.
Well,
he keeps laughing, so he's probably thinking this fucking Arriola's a nut.
But I think what Frank is saying, right, is if you stay ready, you don't need to get ready, right? So you don't necessarily need resolutions. I tell you what, B, let's switch this up. If you
curveball to you, Brandon.
We'll give the Chief a chance to throw this out. How about if you were creating resolutions for our next president of the United States? What top 5 or even top 3?
Top 3.
What top 3 issues, concerns does our next president need to resolve?
Too easy.
So, our top 3 issues for the next president, I would believe, should be securing the border, should be number 1. Putting America first in all policies. Number 3, stop sending money out of our country. That's it. Top 3 right there.
You know what? Exactly the same.
I noticed you were nodding your head, so start this.
At home first,
Yeah.
secure the border. No question. Number 2, the foreign policy component. Fix that. Peace through strength, right? And then I forget what his number 3 was, but it all. Those are, we could talk about the interest rates. We could talk about the economy. None of that goes until your own independence and sovereignty is secure. And our sovereignty is not secure at all. Southern borders wide open, northern borders also open. So you gotta resolve that first, and then your foreign policy. I said, peace through strength, right? That's probably an old Republican thing, but it's accurate. When you hear about Iranians and Chinese, these guys, the Russians, they don't answer to anything but power themselves. They're bullies. But what happens when you punch a bully in the nose? They take 3 steps back, and it's done, right? And so we need to get back to that. That's just the basics, And whatever happens in 2024, I wish our country well. I really do.
Okay. Bojo, you see? All right. Adjusted the top 5 resolutions to what needs to be resolved by our next commander-in-chief. So, you see how these guys do? So talented. All right. We've had an absolutely phenomenal show. Thank
You
you
bet.
to our audience for tuning in. Always
Thank you,
to our
everybody.
brand partners, Guam Army National Guard, Three Blind Mice, Grapplers Quest, Truth Apparel, Guam Windward Memorial. We just got an amazing life. I mean, I think we talked about this before. We're blessed, right?
Yeah, this is fun.
And we're blessed to be able to bring this to you. We're always going to bring you the truth. All right. To wrap up this show, gentlemen, it is a new year, 2024. Can I get, you guys can flip a coin, whoever goes first, from Brandon and Frank, give me your truism for 2024.
Chief, you go first, Chief.
Okay. I'm going to go patriotic. And I'm just going to, and it's not a truism, but just take it for what it's worth. God bless America. Just think about what that is. Think about what I just said, and think about what it means, right? There's a higher being and a higher calling than all of us. And our country has gone to shit real fast. And we need to fix it real fast. And so that's my hope. I hope people can find some spirituality, find some guidance in their lives that, it's one thing for people to say, hey, guys, run for senator or run for president or run for governor and we'll follow you and we win. Really, that's one way to kind of get to the solution. But really the solution is with each of us individually to make that commitment back to our country that I certainly had as a kid. And it was exemplified. I think we may have talked about this, is when you were a kid and you're at school, elementary school, every morning you go out and you do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag, blah, blah, all that good stuff, right? And it was an honor to raise the flag. And if the flag ever came close to hitting the ground, bro, man, there was hell to pay. People ran and jumped. Oh, don't let... And that was nothing more than just, it was symbolic of your pledge to the country and all that it stands for and all that we stand for. And we've lost. I mean, man, it's sad. Almost to tears. It brings me to tears. It's sad that our country's come that we bottomed out, unfortunately. And so for me, it's God bless America. I love you guys.
B, I love that truism. Where do we go?
I would almost the same thing as Chief, but a little bit different. I like playing devil's advocate, and I always understand, or can I say 99% of the time understand where the other side's coming from, whether it be good or bad. But what I'd really like to press and ask our fans and all our viewers and people around the world is, especially in America, we don't have to agree. We don't even have to see eye to eye. But we should always be good to each other. We should not be hurting each other. And we should not be abusing each other. So for this year, for 2024, I'd just like to ask everybody in the U.S. during these trying times, around the world during these trying times, be good to each other. Help when you don't want to help. Stick your neck out. This year, at least this year, just try this year, because what the hell we've been doing has not been working. So let's try something different this year. Let's disagree, but still help each other out. Please.
Well said, B. Well said, Frank.
Hey,
To our podcast
that was fun.
Viewers, absolutely.
I enjoyed that thoroughly.
Gentlemen,
Thank you, guys.
great show, as always.
Happy New
Thank
Year.
you. Happy,
Happy
New
New
Year
Year.
to everybody.
Happy New Year again, everybody.
Echo
Yeah.
These guys. God bless America. Everybody be good to each other. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got episode 9 coming up, wrapping up episode 8. God bless you. You got the truth, and you've been verified.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.